There are over 300 million guns in this country, with over 300 million people. Some of those people are evil. And evil people are a resourceful bunch who know how to commit evil acts regardless of any laws in place to prevent them from doing so. Yet, we childishly cling to gun control as the only answer to deal with this evil. While our kids go to unprotected schools with unprotected teachers and unprotected classrooms, and then are confused when our kids get slaughtered by evil people who consciously break, or in some cases, pass every law to do it. Laws only matter to the people willing to obey them. Depending on laws to prevent random acts of murder is delusional at best and suicidal at worst. You can't legislate evil. That's the equivalent of holding up a no biting sign in front of a rabid dog and expecting it not to bite you. So instead of wasting time adding more words to our no bite sign, how about we focus on how to stop the evil when it arises? Gun-free zone signs don't keep guns out of schools, especially guns in the hands of mass murderers who aren't fazed by signs telling them they're not supposed to bring guns into schools. But you know what does? Metal detectors. Put metal detectors in our schools. You want to know why they have metal detectors in courthouses, airports, and stadiums? Because it prevents mass murderers from getting guns into these places infinitely better than a sign on a window. And if a mass murderer does try to bring a gun into a school and sets the metal detectors off, guess who should be there ready and willing to stop them? Armed guards. We use armed guards at banks, armed guards at jewelry stores. We use armed guards to protect everything we consider valuable. I can't think of anything more valuable than our kids. There should be surface-to-air missiles in front of our schools as far as I'm concerned, so armed guards shouldn't even be a question. Hell, after Columbine, I think our schools should look damn near like the X-Men Academy. These are our kids, the future of our society. There's nothing more valuable. And in the worst event that somebody gets past all of these things, the last layer of defense against these psychos should be our teachers. Let the teachers be armed if they want to be armed, instead of forcing them to become defenseless human sacrifices that still result in kids dying. Give them the power to fight back so that they can defend the kids you entrusted to protect their minds and bodies in the first place. The sad thing is, you all don't even entertain these options because we don't want evil guns in our schools and metal detectors would be unsightly. No, what it is that you don't want a visual representation of your reality. You just want to be able to continue living in your mental utopia where feeling safe is more important than being safe. We fooled ourselves into thinking that we have a right to feel safe, and we don't. We do, however, have a right to protect our lives. We are a victim of our success. We fooled ourselves into thinking that we are so progressive and civilized that we've somehow transcended the reach of evil, where virtue signaling and pacifism is more important than survival. The problem is, this threat isn't coming from the outside. There isn't some outside force shooting these schools up. It's our kids, fathers, brothers, cousins, and nephews. But you can't wrap your head around the fact that the threat is already in your house. So the idea of putting up metal detectors, having armed guards, and arming teachers is a constant reminder that no matter how progressive you become, you can't out-progress evil. You are still vulnerable, and there's nothing you can do about it except prepare. You can't march away evil, you can't shame evil away, and you can't talk to it nicely. All you can do is prepare for that moment as best as you can, so that when it rears its ugly head, you're in a position to fight it head on. Or in the case of school shootings, the people we entrust to take care of our kids can fight it head on. That's what guns allow us to do. Two things can be right at once. A gun can be used for good, and a gun can be used for bad. We need to grow up and understand that guns aren't going anywhere, and neither are evil people who do horrible things. So let's stop wasting our energy talking about ineffective gun control and start focusing on ways to actively save lives instead of moving air around the room about gun control. And while we're at it, let's also focus on why we're raising cold-blooded killers, because we've always had guns, but the kids in the past weren't shooting up schools like this.